Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
100 shocking differences between America and Croatia.
Good, y'all, Tristan
100?
here, and today I'm going to be going over 100 different
I don't know how the fuck you're gonna come up with 100 differences, but let's see.
differences between America and Croatia. Whenever I spend a good amount of time in another country, I like to document some of the differences between it and my home country. Some can be really major differences, and others can be just completely silly, random things I find that I think are interesting. Like the first one on this list, which is that the handicap signs in America and Croatia are flipped opposite directions. And
So weird. Oh.
I'd like to apologize in advance for going quickly over these things. I can't elaborate on each difference too much just because there's 100 of them and we only have so much time. Let's get into it. 100 differences between America and Croatia. Number 2. So while in Croatia, this green plus sign is to signal a pharmacy, that green plus sign in America is to signal a marijuana.
Never seen that before.
Never seen that. To me, that's a pharmacy as well. I guess in Lithuania as well. In whole Europe, I think this is pharmacy though.
Shop, like a weed shop. Number 3 is there are so many more bakeries in Croatia than the States. Like literally there's at least one bakery on every block.
You've seen that throughout our reactions, it's all over Europe as well. We've been saying consistently that we wish that we had more bakeries.
Number 4, so the traffic lights in Croatia are a bit different. Whenever it's about to go from red to green, like you're stopped and then you can go, it goes red and then it turns yellow for about a second or two, and then it turns green. In the States, it goes immediately from red to green. And likewise, when it's about to stop, in the States, it's green, and then it goes yellow, and then red. Well, in Croatia, it's green, and then that green light blinks about, I think it's like 3 times, then it goes yellow, and then it goes red. Number 6.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
okay, it's new to you. In Lithuania, it's the same thing. So basically, here, yellow means go. Like, well, I guess, go if you can, stop if you can't, make it, right? And red is complete stop. And in Lithuania, I think in Croatia too, yellow you can go. That's why the green flashes. When the green flashing light is the same as yellow here. Yeah. So that's, and as far as yeah, and as far as the red, yellow, green then go, I think that's just like from racing, like kind of in racing, you start ready, set, go. So it's kind of that thing.
There's actually no drinking age in Croatia. So in the States, you have to be 21 to buy or consume alcohol, while in Croatia, while you do have to be 18 to buy it, there's actually no legal age for how old you have to be to consume it. 7.
Okay,
so the keys in Croatia, when you're putting them into the door, go the opposite way. So we put our keys in with the flat side on the bottom.
Oh yeah, that was weird to me too when I came. Again, it's
What
a
do you
European
mean?
thing. The key goes here. It's like upside down. In Europe, the key in the door goes upside down here. In Europe, the key goes regular way.
Oh no.
Like,
I'm used to maybe the door also can sometimes be like this too.
honestly, I don't know why it's the other way around.
Bottom, while in Croatia, all the doors, you need the flat side on the top to stick them in. And number 8 is something I found funny about Croatia, but that is, there seems to be this unwritten rule, or I don't know, maybe it is a written rule, that as long as you put your hazards on, you can pretty much pull over and park anywhere. You can literally stop right in the middle of your lane, and as long as you put your hazards on, you're not there for more than like 10 minutes, like, people seem to be okay with it. I was pulling into my Airbnb, like, right downtown at the center of Split, and my Airbnb guy's like, oh yeah, there's a bus stop, just, pull into the bus stop and I'll come out and I'll meet you. So that's what we did. All these people waiting for the bus around us, our Croatian Airbnb has came out, helped us get our stuff, spent about 5-10 minutes there, get our stuff into the Airbnb, and then we went and parked. And while we were there, like, the buses would pull up, come, get people, and then, like, go around our car. It's just a totally normal thing there. Now, number 9 is that
I feel like in downtowns here, you can also people kind of do that, but not for like 5-10 minutes. Maybe for like a quick drop of 20-30 seconds. Yeah, I don't know, for 5 minutes. I don't know about that.
stores are closed on Sundays or have extremely limited hours. We're talking like open at 10, close at 3. Now number 10, and this one really surprised me, but that is that most cars there, like normal advertised cars, will take diesel and not gasoline. In the States, only like big old trucks will take diesel.
I think, honestly, most of these should be differences between America and Europe, because so far, I feel like most of these are just Europe, period, not exclusive to Croatia, because everything he's saying is really much applies to Lithuania as well, and like some other reactions we've seen in Germany too, like some things apply.
Additionally, most of their cars are manual or like stick shift instead of automatic. And if you get your license in an automatic car, like driving an automatic car, you're actually it's illegal to drive a manual car. You need another license for that. But if you get a license for a manual, then you're fine to drive an automatic. Additionally, this is quite smart.
How
but that
do
is
you know
if you have
what you're driving? to pull you over to say, hey,
Well,
do you have a ticket? Do you have a license for that?
So first of all, they're not gonna pull you over for like no reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, what they do, at least in Lithuania, once again, they do like traffic checks. So like just pull people over for like.
Oh.
So and they check it then. Like here, you need probable cause to pull someone over. In Lithuania, you don't. If you do the travel, you can just check every car. Like they do the drunk checks, they pull every car. So at that, on the driver's license, it says if there's automatic, I think it just says like a letter or something, or like some sort of sign is automatic only. And then if they see that it's the stick shift,
Mm-hmm.
But then how would you drive the stick? You probably don't know how to drive a stick shift, so you know.
Haven't had your license for at least 3 years, and there are certain
What
models
if
of
you're driving
cars.
someone else's car?
That's the only time that you would.
That's weird.
You're not allowed to drive, like really like nice cars or like sports cars, like those types of cars. And what's fun about cars, but that is that their license plates there's the first 2 letters in it signal which city the car is from. So like all the cars in a certain city pretty much will have the same first 2 letters on their license.
Okay, now I think that's exclusive to Croatia because it's not like that in Lithuania.
Now I'm talking a bit about their coffee culture. So one, whenever you order a cup of coffee in Croatia, it usually comes with also with a little glass of water. And additionally, going for coffee is like a completely different thing in Croatia than it is in the States.
We saw the other guy that he said that coffee is ours. Yeah.
It's like grab a coffee, 20 minutes, sit down, have a coffee. No. In Croatia, getting a coffee is a 2 to 3 hour social event. You might have a couple coffees, very laid back and chill. It's a pretty common thing to do around like the morning brunch time. Number 17 is a bit random, but that is they have, not everywhere, but in some places I noticed, they have these like tissue-like toilet paper. So it's like you like pull it out of this like toilet paper dispenser and it comes out like a tissue. It's just like a little square for you to, do your thing. But it's not like a big old bowl where you just, pull and fold and yeah, that. And number 18 is that there are markets everywhere. Oh my god, this has been like the first thing I noticed. Whenever you're walking around any major city there's going to be a market for fruit, market for flowers, market for nuts, oils, or sometimes all mixed together. Sometimes you see clothing. Like they just have markets literally every 2 blocks. And I think it's quite a cool thing, but it's just something I'm not used to coming from the States. In addition to markets, you'll often see just these standalone little food carts. Not like big old food trucks, that have a bunch of offerings like in the States, but it'll just be something that might sell one type of nut or just little strawberries. The whole cart might be this big. They might sell popcorn. They just kind of sell one product, but you'll see them, throughout the streets there. And number 20 is that I actually noticed more people giving to the homeless there. In the States, I rarely see people actually handing a homeless person money, but there, in my first week there, I saw 5 different times where somebody was handing coins to a homeless person. In addition, there are far less homeless people. Actually, I just looked this up, and in the entire country, there are only an estimated 2,000 homeless people, which is less than there are just in the city I'm from in the States. I'm from Austin, it has a population of about 1 million. Number 22, and this is probably more of a European thing than a Croatian thing, but that is that so many more people smoke cigarettes. Everywhere I'm going, people are just everyone has a cig. Now, regarding the architecture there were some things in Croatia that I've never seen here in the States, and one is how all their buildings in their city centers are linked together. I'll show it right here, but every single, there's one pretty much giant building that takes up an entire block, and then that building is segmented into different areas, but there's no actual...
Yeah, we see that all throughout Europe again. I think it's just historically it used to be like that, because it's pretty common, yeah, we see it.
Gap between buildings unless it's a road. And due to that architecture style, so in the States, if you have a business, it's going to have a street front. You can pretty much see it from the street, from the road, 95% of the time. But in Croatia, that is not the case. So imagine this is
He's been to Croatia?
Yeah, that's how he opened the video. He said whenever he goes to a country, he likes to do this type of video, the difference video.
An entire square block. There's all the buildings on the outside, but then
he's very
everything built in, and on the entire
yeah, some of the stuff he's saying, it's not I don't know how he knew as a tourist, like the driver's license thing. That's something I don't know how you would find out that as a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be
I guess when you maybe rent a car and they tell you that you can only drive automatic. I don't know.
Building stuff, courtyards, entire schools. You have no idea what's in there, but you have to go into a little door and kind of discover what's in there. If you don't know what's in there, then you just miss it. You wouldn't see it if you're just walking down the street. Additionally, their buildings are more commonly built out of stone, where in the States it's more glass. And their city centers have shorter buildings for the most part. They don't have any big old skyscrapers like we do in the States.
Oh, that's just historically. Those are back in the day, stone was available, so that's what they built. And same with the skyscrapers. There's Old Town, and nobody's gonna build a skyscraper in an old town.
It's largely due to just how much older Croatia is. Like, their cities are thousands of years older than ours, and you can really tell that when they're there. Like, for another example is that their roads are a lot smaller, very narrow. There's less lanes. Like, unless you're going like between cities or like out in the suburbs, or then they built the roads out. But in the city centers, things are real tight. Now, something I thought was funny, and I guess this is due to roads being smaller, but is that you park on the curb often in Croatia. So, like, let's say, you know, here's the road, here's the sidewalk, you might just put half your car on the sidewalk. I don't know, I've just never seen that in the States, but yeah, in the States, like, it's often for every single person in the family that's of age to have their own car, while in Croatia it's a lot more common to share, like, have one car that you share with your whole family, but that could also be because public transportation is, like, used way more there, and it's so much better than it is in the States. Now, food delivery services are usually done on a bike, so you order your food, some kid will be like biking up to you with your food on the back of his bike, while in America, it's going to be someone driving up in their car. Things are like more spread out in the States, so you kind of need a car, but in Croatia, it honestly makes more sense to just deliver it on a bike. Now, 32 is their grocery stores are often built like a maze, so like, you'll walk in, and then like you pass by the meat, you pass by their stuff, and you pretty much go through a little maze throughout their grocery store. Well, in America, it's like grid formation, so you kind of pick the lane you want to go in and just go to that aisle. I did see some grocery stores like that in Croatia, but it's only a couple of like the really big ones. The most
yeah, in Lithuania too, we had some like the maze ones, but those are like the smaller stores. The big stores are the same like here by aisle, but yeah, the smaller stores, they are like, especially the entrance, it's like for the first couple hours, it's like a maze, and after that, you can split off.
Common grocery store is more built like a maze. I've never seen that here in the States. So when you're at the grocery store, you're going to be bagging your own groceries, because that's just how they do it there in Croatia. Another thing at the grocery store is you actually buy your beer in crates. Like, it looks like this. It's like this big old crate thing. It's not like the cardboard packaging we have in the States. But there's a good reason for that, and that's because they actually pay you to bring back your bottles and recycle. So in the States, like, recycle them, get rid of them, whatever. But in Croatia, you actually will take the bottles you just drank, put them back in the crate, like you just got them from, and when you're done with it all, you bring that crate back, exchange it, get some money for it, and that's just how things are done there. In addition,
now, I do think they pay here too, because on like the cans and bottles, they say like 5 cents if you bring it back in certain states. I've never done it, but I think in certain states they do pay it back here too.
Sell those beer crates in like things of 20, where in the States it's 24, and the reason for that is because they don't really have a concept of a dozen there. In the States we have like a dozen's 12, so like you get 2 dozen beers, 24. Things are just sold in dozen or half dozen. They don't really seem to use dozen as a way of counting there. Like, I didn't see anything sold in a dozen. Like, for example, eggs. You buy eggs in a dozen. In Croatia, eggs are sold by like in 10 in a pack. Alright, something more serious is that...
Yeah, the dozen is definitely an American thing. I didn't really get it until like 2 weeks ago or so. I saw a post on Reddit explaining it, and it actually made sense that dozen is better than tens.
Why?
Because dozen is divisible by 6, 3, 2, 4. So if you want like a quarter, a third, a half, easier to do, versus 10 is only a half. How you going? How you going to do a quarter of 10? 2.5. Versus a third, 3.3.
I think they try to suggest maybe 2 eggs a day, Monday to Friday, and they purchase.
No, it's just metric units, everything is like 10, 10. But here it's, I guess, the imperial units. I never really made sense to me, but after, seeing that, I'm kind of like, makes sense, someone was thinking. Because even like when you think of inches and feet, like 12 inches to a feet also, well, I mean, there's some logic to it.
You don't really wear shorts as common there, or you don't wear shorts in all places in Croatia. It can be considered irreverent there, so you wouldn't wear shorts to like your place of work. You wouldn't wear it to church. You wouldn't wear them often to. I've heard someone tell me that their private college there, you're not allowed to wear shorts to. But one thing I will say about their dress is in Croatia they dress nice, really nice. Like, you don't see people wearing sweats. They dress much nicer than you see Americans typically dressing. You typically see darker, neutral clothing. You're not going to see, many bright colors. And if you're shopping for clothes or just walking by a clothes shop, you're going to see so many mannequins. Oh my god, they have so many mannequins. They're like super detailed. Like, you might see them with hair, with like facial, like look like a real person. You might see them in different colors, but I don't know. I feel like mannequins are totally out of style in America. Like, you really don't see mannequins in most clothing shops. Something else I noticed when walking the streets there is they have garbage cans just parked right on their sidewalk. So, this is the road, these are all the businesses. They just take their garbage can and they put it like right out front. In the States, your trash is always hidden. It's usually kept like in the back of the restaurant, or some of our people aren't going to walk by it or see it. Now, real quick, we're going to do a little food segment, because food's real different there. So here's some unique food things I saw there that I've never seen in my life before. But the first one is corn on pizza. Seems to be somewhat common. They like putting corn on their pizza. In addition, putting mayo or ketchup on your pizza is pretty common. And they like to put tuna on lots of things that we don't put tuna on in the States. Like if you have tuna in the States, it's usually only like a piece of tuna. It's really the only way you eat it. Maybe on like a salad. But there, I saw tuna also on pizza. I saw tuna on like many different pastries. And they also freaking love their salami. You'll see salami all over Croatia. Alright, 47, tons of cats all over Croatia. 48, when going through a toll road, you get the ticket and then you get to the end of it and you pay. Whereas in the States, you're going to pay up front, like before you even get onto the toll. Also regarding tolls.
That was a quick food segment.
No, I get it, but you pay up front when you get on the toll? What?
Maybe entrance fee?
How would that make sense? I don't know.
For entrance.
Yeah, but you pay based on the distance on the exit you get off.
Maybe it's flat.
I don't know if this is true what he said. This one, I don't think so.
There are some...
Because not here, because here you, like on Turnpike, you pay whichever exit you get off on. So you you get scanned in the entrance, but then they keep, every distance or whatever, every toll, they keep adding, and whenever you get off, that's the total bill.
So many of them in Croatia. Be prepared to go through a lot of tolls. Pretty much every single highway between every single major city in Croatia is a toll. Another one regarding roads is, especially in like the countryside, it seems to be pretty common to go for a walk or a jog on the roadside. So it might be just a one-lane road. You might see someone walking or driving in it. So if you're driving, just gotta make sure you gotta watch out for them. Now 51 is it is not common to wear sandals there. So I was wearing sandals walking around Croatia and I was getting lots of looks. All these people were just kind of like staring at my feet. I had no idea why, but I was talking to this Croatian guy who explained to me that it's really important to be manly in Croatia. Like, men are supposed to be manly, so that's like darker clothing. It's a very common haircut to have like a buzz cut, like some sort of military cut there. And sandals are not seen as like that manly, macho front that lots of guys try to put on in Croatia. Actually, before I go any further, I did want to address that I had two awesome people help me with this list. I spent hours and hours and hours talking to two guys. One was a hostel owner when I was there, who was actually an Australian who owned the hostel and then been living in Croatia for several years. And the other was a local born and raised Croatian that worked at the hostel. And we spent so much time talking about Croatia, things that were unique to it. Particularly on the second half of this list, a lot of things I say were brought to my attention from them, or if I had questions, they really helped educate me and explain these things.
I wonder if he speaks this fast naturally or if he just sped this up. Because he's going really fast.
Thanks to me. So big shout out to them. Thanks, Patrick and Cracker. The last thing I gotta say regarding this whole like family thing is they're also not nearly as LGBT friendly in Croatia as we are in the States. You don't see as many gay people, not nearly as many people are like out and open about it. There's just way more looked down on there than it is back here. Now number 55, there are money exchanges freaking everywhere there, and I think this is because they use like the kuna, not the euro. So pretty much, if you're not from Croatia, except from anywhere besides Croatia, you're gonna have to get an exchange, but don't worry because like they're literally everywhere. 56, it is much more common to live in an apartment there than a house. Additionally, if you have a house, it's really common to have your own garden and kind of grow your own fruits and vegetables and some of your own food. When writing numbers, they switch the period and comma. So like in America, it would look like this, while that same number in Croatia would look like this. You can't turn right on red.
Yeah, so that's again European thing.
In America, stop at a red light, there's no cars coming, you're good to turn right. Croatia cannot do that. Now, in this whole list, I remain very neutral. I just, state the facts, the differences. I don't sign on saying this is better, that's better, it's just different. But there's one thing, it's the only thing about Croatia that I just think, it is idiotic. It's so dumb. It makes absolutely no sense to me, and this is it. There's stoplights. When you're going to an intersection, you stop in your car. In the States, the light is on the other side of the intersection from you, so you look at it and see it, and see when it turns green. Well, in Croatia, instead of putting the light on the opposite side of the intersection, let's say your car's parked here, they put it on the same side as your intersection. So if you're the first car in line... Same
in Lithuania, like, it's then you, like, if you're the first fucking car, you have to look like this. It's not... Yeah, like, you... Obviously, I guess you gotta be a little behind, but if you, like, right at the line, like, you literally... putting your head above the steering wheel like this.
It makes sense so you don't go too close up and people can cross.
Yeah, no, Americans got this one right.
Like, you either have to stop like a good bit behind the line, and even then you're looking up as hard as you can to see when it turns green, or you have to freaking like open your your sunroof and look at it through your sunroof. Like, there were times where I accidentally pulled up like 1 foot too far over the line, and I just couldn't see the light. I was hopeless.
That's why
it makes
you
absolutely
have
no
to
sense to me.
start
Like,
doing
even
that.
if you're completely good, you stop in front of the line or a couple feet in front of the line, you're still straining your neck, looking up just to see when it turns green. I don't get this design at all. Please, someone in Croatia, please tell me why I'll do this. Is there any sort of benefit? Now, another thing I noticed when driving down Croatian highways is they have these little signs that go over their roads every like 5 kilometers, maybe 10 kilometers, really regularly, and they just sense the weather. So just be driving and be like, 10 degrees. I don't know why this is, but I don't know. If you're ever wondering what the weather is and the temperature on your car's broken and the temperature on your phone's broken and yeah, you can't find out what the temperature is, keep on driving and look up and you'll see a little temperature sign, coming up.
Probably maybe historically, before the phones and before the cars have thermometers.
I'll see. More different things. So it's not nearly as common to spay or neuter your dog there. They have some drinks there that are like, I've never heard of in the States. I'm going to absolutely butcher the names of how to pronounce these, so please forgive me. But one is mixing red wine with Coca-Cola. It's called Bambus, I don't know. The next one is mixing white wine with sparkling water. It's called Jamist, I think. Jamist, is that how you say that? And then they have this drink called Rakija, which is like the drink of Croatia. It's like a strong vodka. They love it there and they drink it all the time. Actually, it's kind of, another thing about Croatia difference is it is common to take a shot before breakfast or before your lunch. I've been told it's not as common with the younger people, but like the older generation or like the traditional people in our country, it's really common to do. And when they do it, they take a shot of Rakija. This is a real Croatian thing. Like, this is like what Vegemite is to Australians. This is what that is to Croatians. Fun facts about it, some people like in the older generation there think it heals pretty much everything. So like, oh, you're sick? Oh, take a shot. Like, oh, you got a scratch in your arm? Like, put some Rakija on. It's kind of like an old wives' tale.
So alcohol, yeah.
But it's like some people still kind of believe it. So I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. Now something else is to serve alcohol in Croatia, you don't need any sort of license or take any course or any of that to be able to serve alcohol. But you have to shit in a cup twice a year if you want to work with food or alcohol. That's right, it seems crazy. Like the owner of the hospital, who was also the owner of a bar, was telling me how like his employees, he had to give them this little cup, they have to like poop, and then like spoon their poop into this cup and give it to doctors twice a year, so that they're able to hand you yourself. They say they just make sure everyone's healthy, like, I guess they examine your poop and make sure you're healthy, but yeah, I don't know, to me that seems a little bit invasive. That was actually that same guy.
That is so random, yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting.
And like, I did notice this when I was there, but he just, I don't know, said it like, in a funny way, shut up. But he said, ever since I've been living in Croatia, I haven't seen any fats, blacks, or gays. Just meaning that Croatians are typically pretty fit, pretty slim. You don't really see many fat Croatians. There aren't really many black people that live in Croatia, and yeah, I didn't really see any gay. If you are gay, you're not out about it. Also, when talking to that guy, he really gave me insight, because he was a business owner there, of how business runs in Croatia. It's so much different than in America. He was telling me how insanely complicated the tax system is. Like, you need an accountant in Croatia to pretty much do anything. Like, he says just to pay his payroll, he needs an accountant. The point of sales systems in Croatia, like, little thing you put your card in, or, like, the cash registers, those things are directly connected to the accountant governing system of Croatia. So there are authorities from that organization who can come to your business at any time, look in your cash register, and if you are not exact to the nearest dollar, or I guess it's kuna, but if you're just a little bit off, they can fine you, they can shut down their business. They're just absolutely incredibly strict about taxes and accounting and all that there. Some other things in this realm is if you employ a student, like someone who's in school, like high school, you have to pay that school a 17.5% tax of whatever wages he makes. The logic behind this is you're using their student, so since you're using their student, you should be paying them for that. So that is another interesting thing about Croatia. Also, it's illegal for businesses to give things out for free, so buy one, get one free sales, that's illegal. Some more tax stuff is that their GST, or sales tax, is 25%, which is one of the highest sales tax or GST taxes in the world. But unlike America, that tax is included in the sticker price. So let's say you see something for
yeah, the tax is always included in price in Europe, but 25%, holy shit, that's a lot.
$100, it's still going to cost $100, but 25 of those dollars are going to the government.
Yeah, for comparison, guys, here in Florida we have a 7% tax, so yeah, that's crazy, over 3 times more.
And another tax they have is a tourist tax. So whatever price you see of a hotel and whatnot, just know it's going to be a little bit more than that, because if your driver's license or whatever doesn't have that exact city on it, then you're going to be paying an additional tourist tax. So many taxes, I know, it's crazy, but it does pay off. For example, there are colleges there, the public colleges are free or pretty much close to it. They have free universal health care, so you're not paying for your medical bills. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention about restaurants is happy hour. Happy hour isn't really a concept they have there. The whole drinks are cheaper for these couple hours, get you there early. That is not something that they really do, or a concept they have in Croatia. Ooh, also tipping. So tipping in Croatia is quite unusual and different. So unlike America, you don't have to tip. Like, it's not expected. However, it is way more common to tip in Croatia than many other places. So it's just kind of standard norm there. Just kind of like round your bill up to like the nearest like whole amount or whatever seems right. Maybe your bill's, 44 kuna, just round it up to 50. 91 kuna, round it up to 100. It's just really common there to tip. Not like the 20% like in America, just, round it up to, I don't know, like closer to 10%. Ice is not really a thing they put in their drinks. If they do, it's like 2 cubes of ice. They don't really put much ice at all. And something else I noticed is that bakeries or like anywhere, like takeaway food place, you don't pay until you get your food. So like, you might go up to the counter and be like, hey, can I have this? And usually in the States, you would pay, wait 5 minutes, and then you get it. There, they go, they get it ready for you, they make it, whatever, give it to you, and then once they give it to you, then you pay. And speaking of payment, whenever you're paying with a card, they're gonna ask you what type of card is it, and at first I was saying debit, or like, debit or credit. Well, what they're asking is if it's Visa or Master, or like Discover, or something like that. And not all the time, but pretty often, whenever you're paying with a card, you will get 2 receipts. One receipt will be like, for like the card or the bank, and then one will be like the order of like what you got. I didn't really get it, but it's common to get 2 receipts. 87, we're getting to the...
We get 2 receipts here at the restaurants too. Like, you do our copy and then the restaurant's copy that you sign.
Hey guys, but that is that their beaches there are often not like fine sand beaches. They're like more like rock or stone pebble beaches. Still incredibly beautiful, just pointing it out. Additionally, so when you're driving, so many tunnels. It's very like hilly, mountainous terrain there, and so whenever you just go through tunnel whenever you're going through cities. That really surprised me. And then something that gave me a good chuckle was that they don't seem to have much safety standards for construction, so you might want to be a little bit careful. Like, I was in Dubrovnik, and they're like digging this big old hole in the ground. It's like a 6-foot hole in the ground. And whenever they're done for the day, they would just take like a little piece of like plywood, like this big, just put it over. And if you're driving there, expect aggressive drivers. I found Croatians to be quite aggressive. It's just a driving style. Like you'll just be going, they're about to turn out, and they'll almost hit you as they turn out. Like, they're just really aggressive. Also, if you hear them honking, don't necessarily think that it's you. They just like to honk a lot there. At first, I thought everyone was honking at me, but I was like, I'm doing that. Like, I'm stopped at a red light. I'm not doing anything wrong. And then I just realized it's just how they are there. They just honk a lot. But all that being said, they are so nice to people at crosswalks. Like, if you are anywhere near a crosswalk or about to go, they will stop for you. So they're not aggressive at all in that respect. And if you're there, you should use their crosswalks, because in Croatia, they actually pretty commonly give out jaywalking tickets. And they're not cheap. It's about 3 to 400 kuna, which is about $60. Real quick before we wrap this video up, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. And, hey, if you made it this far, please give it a big old thumbs up, because, these videos, these 100 ones take a lot of time to make. Oh, one more thing I want to say is I could do a part 2 to this video if I want, not 100, but, some more. So, if this video gets 500 likes in the first 3 days of posting it, then we'll post a part 2. Alright, so, next one is...
He said in 3 days, so I don't know.
When at a restaurant, you actually have to flag down your waiter. They might just not come up to your table and approach you all the time. Got your little wave and just get their attention. And then 95 is that small talk with strangers just isn't quite as common. You don't see a neighbor just kind of wave at them, nod at them, smile, say hi. It's just kind of like, if you don't know them, just stay to your own business. Another thing is if you're going into a stranger's house, not a stranger. Like, if you're going into someone's house, it's polite to take off your shoes. And
I feel it's the same here, no?
I feel like nowadays people just walk in with their shoes on.
Really? I ain't nobody wearing my shoes with shoes on.
Totally random one, I don't know how this is on this list, but is there nacho cheese Doritos, like the standard Doritos, come in these orange bags, or in the States they come in red bags? And I think they did have red bag ones, but I think they're...
we didn't even have Doritos in Lithuania, so I don't know.
Like spicy or something like that. In Croatia, they have a holiday called St. Nick's Day. It's a little bit before Christmas time. I believe it's December 6th. And pretty much what happens is you put treats.
What is St. Nick's Day?
December 26th. He just says December 26th.
Nick's Day is a little bit before Christmas time. I believe it's December 6th. And pretty much what happens is you put treats in the kids' stockings. I don't know, St. Nick comes and puts treats in the kids' stockings. But yeah, we don't really have that in the States. And regarding Halloween, they don't really do Halloween in Croatia. There's no trick-or-treating. But there is this, it's like a comparable holiday in February. It's this carnival where the kids go and they trick-or-treat. And then
the Mardi Gras.
That's Mardi Gras.
Lastly, number 100 is that there is a much larger difference between the older generation and the younger generation in Croatia than there is here in the States. It ranges from beliefs, culture, ability to speak English, religion. I think a lot of it is due to the war there. They grew up before the war, they had more exposure to the Soviet.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these, probably 80 are not exclusive to Croatia, because we have it in Lithuania too. Some of them you have never seen before, so exclusive to Croatia. But you basically summarize the difference between America and Europe, if anything, for me. But interesting video.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. If you like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.